anyway, you can see what's going on. There's some weirdness going on with the screen there. We took it into a shop. It was going to cost a lot to repair it, so now we're going to try changing out the screen on our own. So the only area of damage we can see is, okay, there seems to be a little crack here, so maybe there's something here when my daughter closed it and then it cracked the screen, so now we've got this issue. So we're going to try to replace the screen. So the first step is we're going to take a Pentalobe 1.2 and remove these screws on the bottom. And then I have some painter's tape here that I'm just going to stick all the screws onto. So I'm just going to remove them. Alright, so we got a suction cup here. You pull up on it and then you kind of pry around here and you kind of lift a little bit just to see if you can lift it up a tiny bit and go around here. I think I still have some clips engaged in here, so I'm going to lift up a little bit more. Oh, there we go, that one released. And then we're going to try this side too, see if we can get this clip to fully release. Oh, okay, this one popped up, okay. Alright, so after we've gotten this piece loose, we're going to put the computer like this, and we're going to push the back cover down like this. So we're yanking down here and giving it some force here. Oh, okay, that required a bit of force. Okay, and then we just do the other side as well. Ah, okay, the other side was easier. And then, voila. Okay, so next thing is we're going to remove this little plastic piece here. It's very easily removed because last time when we changed the SSD out, we removed it before, so it comes out very easily. I'm going to put this aside. Then what you want to do is you want to take this little tab here and move it this way so you expose the little connector. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. What you want to do is you want to lift this up and then you want to flip the connector up. You can see that's flipped up now, and then you can take this guy out. There you go. So this one's out of the way. Okay, so now that we've undone this guy, we're gonna remove this screw. This is a T5. So let's remove it with a T5. Okay, so that's removed. So you want to pry this up a little bit just so that it's not in contact anymore. So if you see, it's kind of not in contact anymore. Next step is we just want to drain the remaining power if there is any. So now the battery is disconnected, so we're going to open this up and we're going to press and hold the power button for a bit. Maybe 15 seconds. So I'm doing all of this based on the video from It's Been Repaired. And he's great. He goes through these steps very detailed. So I will include a link of his video in the description below, but definitely watch his. He's a pro. I'm just someone who's doing this, opening this computer up for the second time, but I'm just doing it to show that, you know, you could do it as well. The next step is we're going to use a T4 screwdriver, remove the screws on these plastic covers here in the corner. Ooh, these are small. So I actually got since there's so many screws, I got this project tray, so I'm just gonna put these guys in the project tray just for safekeeping. From watching the video, I know there's a lot of screws for this project, so I'm going to take this little cover off. See, this comes right off here, this one here. We're going to work on this one. Alright, then we have to work on these two little metal covers here. So same T4, take them out. This comes right out like so. Alright, so these two covers are off, these two metal covers are off. Next, we're going to take out these 4 screws and then these 4 screws. So, also this is still T4, so you could keep using the same screwdriver. I'm going to take the 4 screws that hold this connector down, these little metal plates down, that hold the connector down. So here. Okay, so I got the screws and the connector, well, the little plate, so we'll keep them in one place here. And then we take these off. Okay, so those screws are removed. So now we can actually remove this metal plate that's holding this down, and then we could pop open the LCD connector just using fingernails. So there we go. See, pop right up. So now we're going to switch to T5. We're going to take these screws holding down the monitor board. So there's 4 of them, and also the one holding down the wireless antenna connectors. So we'll go ahead and take these 4 out, or these 5 actually. So these two screws just came out of here and here, right? So just make sure the longer one that's a little bit thinner goes towards the outside edge, so it's here. The shorter, fatter one goes towards the inside of the computer, or towards the middle. Same with this other side, so long and thin, short and fat. They're all T5, but when I took it out, I kind of made the mistake of assuming they're the same, and I just dumped them in the little iFixit project tray here, and then I saw that they were different. So I went back and checked, but unfortunately it's easy to check. Now I'm going to stick these on my duct tape just to make sure that they stay in that same order. So we're going to take out the screw that's holding down the wireless antenna right here. It's also T5. Take that one out. I'm going to put it in the tray. We just removed this screw holding down the wireless antenna, so now we can just pop those off, allegedly just by just by prying them underneath the wire. And then the next one, okay, oh, they just come right out. Okay, so now we're going to switch to a Pentalobe 0.8 and take out 6 on this side and 6 on this side. So we're going to try to remove the wireless board. So we've got all the screws. You kind of put your fingernails under here, and then just kind of put your fingernails under and just kind of slide it over to free it out. Now it's popping out. You can feel it, and you kind of see how this area, you just kind of have to finagle it out. So it goes. Okay, there you go, it's out. So we're just going to put it here on our tray as well. Okay, so the next step is we're going to remove these 6 screws that are holding the screen in place. But before we do that, we want to open up the screen completely, is what they say. So let's open it up completely. Alright, let me see what completely is. Okay, well that's completely. And then we'll put it face down here, like so. Okay, so like that. So it's open completely, and I have the screen hanging off this edge over here. You can't really see it, but then we're going to go to our T8, and remove these 6 screws. Alright, now that we have the screws removed, you're supposed to be able to, when you feel it's loose already, so you kind of, Alright, voila. So the old screen is out now. Okay, so we got our new screen here. So the first thing we have to do is make sure that these are open all the way. They appear to be. Put these connectors like that. Okay, so to finagle a tiny bit, get these screws. Alright, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but you're gonna have to Now these are lined up, so we're going to put in one on each side. I'm going to follow Ben's advice and put in Loctite, red Loctite, but that's for later. So we're going to put in 2 screws for now just to get the alignment. I'm just going to do these middle ones. Don't tighten them too much because don't tighten them all the way yet because we're going to have to check the alignment. Close it. Just make sure the corners are aligned. I should probably take that film off, but I'm averse to taking protective film off too early, but I'll make sure I get it right. Because we want to get the alignment right, so let's take this film. I can only take it off like this. Oh god, now I can close it all the way. Take the line back off as well. Alright, so now we can kind of figure out if this alignment is good. What is that? That's some gunk. Okay, it's a little off here. There's a little bit, you can feel this little bit of a difference here. This is coming out a little bit. I tried jiggling it around a tiny bit, but it hasn't helped. So we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna put Loctite on these screws. So alright, so we're gonna do is take out these 2 screws that didn't have Loctite on them and put Loctite on them. Ben does a video about why he puts Loctite. This particular kind is 262. I got it on Amazon, but he has a video. I'll put the link below, and you can listen to him explain why. It is reversible. It's not permanent, so it just makes these screws stay better. Okay, so we've got these 6 screws in that hold the monitor in. There's a little bit of Loctite, 262, the red kind. We're gonna want to connect these two spring-loaded things here, one on this side and one on this side. So it's a T4 screw. You kind of have to flip it around and then put it in. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. But this is a little bit tricky because you need to have the screw ready to put in once the piece is in position. Okay, so let's try to do this. Switch back to a T4 bit. T4. Have to have that screw ready. I believe it's this one. So have it ready to go. On here. So once you get it in position, you can put it in. So okay, this requires a little bit of finagling to get it in, and it is spring loaded, so the other one, I'm not going to tighten that one completely until I get the other one in. I'll get this other screw, that'd be great. Okay, get the other screw ready. Kind of push it in place. That's not one, I'm just going to get this other one. This other side, so I move this over so you can see the other one. Okay, got that one in position. These screws. Okay, so those guys are in. Now the next step is to put the wireless antenna back. So the wireless antenna is this piece right here. So you're going to want to, it actually goes like this. So first off, make sure this connector's on top here so it doesn't get caught. Yeah, like that. And then you kind of want to put this part through that area. There we go. Yeah. So getting these threaded through that little arch there. Okay. Let's kind of Oh. Okay, so you push down in the middle here. Once you got everything in line, then you can feel it go into place. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, I have to say. But now it's lodged in place. So now we can go ahead and put back all of these little screws. Those are the Pentalobe 0.8. Those little tiny little guys. So we can put in all of them right now. So what you're seeing is basically me doing this for the first time. I'm not practicing or redoing stuff. I just want to give everyone an idea, like, this is the first time doing it. Is it possible? What to look out for? You know, honestly, there's some things that are a bit nerve-wracking because I don't have any experience, but hopefully this will give you guys confidence to take on a project like that, like this. I mean, you do have to be super meticulous and careful, because it would be very easy to ruin this entire computer by just missing out on one step, dropping a screw onto the logic board or something like that. Alright, so we got all 8 of these, well, 12 of these tiny little screws in. Next thing is we're going to switch to a T5 bit, T5, and we're going to put in these 4 screws that secure the monitor, well, monitor board. Alright, so maybe not tighten them all the way down first, because this one's not aligned that well. So, alright, there we go. Okay, so now that they're all in, we're going to tighten them all the way, these 4. Okay, so we tighten this one, this one, this one, and this one. So, wow, we're getting pretty close to completion here. We're going to connect the wireless antennas here and then put this screw in. So you kind of have to align them. There's a little... Yeah, so there's a little grommet, so you just use that, you can see it, well, you can't see it from your angle, but once you align it, it kind of, don't press down until you've aligned it well. And then you can feel that you can't move it if you have it right over the connector, and then you can push down. Yeah, that's a good connection. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reconnect the LCD connector right here. You just kind of align it and press it down. So this is a little nerve-wracking because I haven't done it before. Yeah. Trying to get a better view of whether it's lined up or not. Okay, I kind of had to push it back a little bit, but now I believe it's pretty well connected, solid. Okay, and then we're going to go to a T4, and then we're going to put this guy back. So this is a little thing that was sitting on top of here, holding the connector in place. For some reason this has a lot of dust on it. Clean off all the dust. There goes this. It's a little wonky. Anyway, okay, let's get those two screws. Oh, tiny screws. Gosh. They're really tiny. Hang on, so I'm going to put a little bit on. Should be T4. So. Okay, the screws look very short, but they were the right ones. Tighten them down. Okay, next we're going to put this metal bracket in. So this one's right here. Let me put this guy here. so we're going to do the plastic hinges, the plastic covers on the side. So I'm going to turn the computer around so it's a little easier to work with. Okay, and then I have mine kind of in the original. Okay, right, okay, so that's easy enough. See if these are still T4, so that's good. This rotation. Does it feel weird? Okay, there we go. The bit kind of goes under the metal there, so sure you do that. Okay, so these two plastic covers for the hinges are on. Now we're gonna continue by putting these little brackets on. They were the ones covering this. I kept mine in order using this tray, so I know that this bracket goes on this side, the other bracket goes on the other side. But if you look on the other side of the bracket, you'll see foam. So the long part goes towards that side of the computer, so to hold this thing down, and then this part covers that little metal thing. So I'm going to put it back in that orientation. And this screen kind of has these things are puffier for some reason, so let's see how that goes. Putting these screws in, hold it down. These are also T4, so you can keep that same screwdriver that you had. Okay, so that worked out. I'm just going to, gosh, these screws are so small. Okay, same thing for this one. Kind of goes this way. Oh, almost done here. Don't jinx it and drop a screw into the computer. Okay, we're gonna reconnect the battery now. So we're gonna put that this screw in here, go to a T4 bit, oh T5, sorry, T5 bit. We're just gonna put this guy right in here and screw it down. Okay, then we have to reconnect this connector. So this is a little bit tricky. You kind of have to guide the little thing into the slot, so that's kind of difficult. I'm sure you can't see it from that camera, but you just grab this little tab and then you guide the connector into the slot. Which, oh, okay, is it going in? It is going in. Okay, just make sure it's going in. Just take it out again. Okay. So once it's in, you kind of flip that lock mechanism down. You can use your fingernails. Just slip it down and it should lock in place. Yep, it's pretty much locked in place now. Yep. I just put this back in, this little foam bit back. Time to put the cover back on. So remember we kind of had to slide it off when we're taking it off. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slide one side on first. Okay, so you kind of slide both sides on gradually. One side's not going on completely, so let's see if we can get it to... Okay, there we go. See, that's nice and flush there. Let's get this side nice and flush. Yeah, that's nice and flush now, so we can, at this point, we can just push down on it. There we go, nice little pop there. There we go. Okay. So, now we could put all the screws back. Yeah, it's the Pentalobe 1.2. So we're going to go ahead and put these screws back on. Okay, now we're done. We just have to test it out. Oh, okay, it's giving me a battery warning, but the battery warning looks really good. Well, okay. So, after reconnecting that battery connector and charging the MacBook up, this is what comes up when I turn the power on. So it's like something asking me to reset password. It's a recovery assistant. So it looks like the screen's fine, but that's the good news. But I just have to make sure I don't reset the password unnecessarily. See how I get through this step. Okay, so after it rebooted, this is the screen. It looks beautiful and doesn't look like it has problems. So it all worked out.